Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. A moment ago, I was doing a production for you called The Key to Life and Heaven on Earth. I had to cut it a little short, had some things to do, and this is the conclusion of that message. But for those of you who didn't catch the other, to bring you up to date, it's like this. And a good description of how humankind respond on the earth in relationship to what's proper or what's improper is the same as a family. A husband and a wife raising children, and how they try to teach the children the way that they would like for them to emulate and follow. They got a champion out there, should I say a challenger, called peer pressure. And as soon as those kids get outside that door, there are some things that you taught them they'll stick to, and there are some things that peers would just knock right out. So on earth, it's the same thing. There are some basic principles that would allow you to live like you're in heaven on earth. That means everybody's desires, wants, needs are met. Whether it has to do with food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, and careers, it comes to them as simple as the air that brings them their oxygen. It comes to them as simple as the blood that flows through their veins. That's God's way. And all of the people on earth are just as satisfied as you are when you're breathing, as satisfied as you are when the blood is flowing proper. But oh no, can't be like that, because you got a pressure out there, and that prayer pressure is to say that God's way is not the best way, but another way is. They call that, well, I'm not going to call it the devil's way, I'm not going to call it Satan's way or evil's way, I'm going to call it capitalism way. Now, everybody, you get upset with evil, you don't know what that means. You might get upset with any other thing, but when I say capitalism, when I say money, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because as I, in the other video, told you that you could have everything just by each individual putting their hands to the plow as it has been designed to do, and you don't owe anybody anything, but you've given them everything that you got, and that's everybody giving everybody everything they got. So the whole darn world that God has given it to us outside of God's ownership is ours. And we don't owe anybody anything. We don't owe them no taxes, no fees, no interest, no nothing. No loan payback, we don't owe you nothing. But no. They say if you want a house, you got to get some money. That's what capitalism say. Education, food, clothing, shelter, you got to get some money. And to get some money, you got to work. But what you going to work on? You can't work on what God gave you, because man has claimed it as his own. Can you find an oil well somewhere that's been identified that doesn't have somebody's name on it? Standard, BP, everybody to put a name on it. Go to the gold mines, go to the diamond mines. Everybody got a name on it. They claimed it. Go to any other resource in the earth. Somebody, if it's been identified, somebody got a tab stuck on it claiming it's mine. And they got the system of capitalism of supporting that, operating on the money. And rather than you being able just to extend yourself and work at it based upon what you've been given to do, and the society has come up with what they're going to use it for, now you got this man telling you, you can't do no work unless I approve you. And now you got to work for what I want you to work for. You can bet the one who got his name on it, who got all the people working, go home with a great big old paycheck, and he hadn't done a darn thing. But all of those people who did all of that work did it for $15 an hour or less, maybe a little bit more. But it's nothing compared to what it would require for them to live the life as if they are in heaven. So, as I was leaving earlier, the question becomes, what do you do in a situation like this? The kid goes out and practices to become like the peers. He or she might stay like the peers and become just that, or they might recognize that it's nothing that's really going on and come back home. Or they might just stay out there seemingly forever and then they get old and wake up and want to come back home. Sometimes they don't wake up. They're just going out of here. But what does it happen when a child of God talking about living like he's in heaven on earth, when all of that has been snatched from him by a system of man, and he can't eat, he can't have shelter, can't have clothing, can't have education, can't have health care, because he doesn't have any money. And whether somebody wants his service, his or her service, depends upon what's going on. And if they do, depending upon how essential it is for the benefit of whoever owns it, that determines how much money you're going to be paid. You might be paid a couple of $100 million, or you might be paid $3.50 an hour, or 25 cents an hour. All of that. That's capitalism. So what does God-man do? Does God-man say, well, I got to have this and stuff that capitalism offers, that's the only way I'm going to get it, so I join over in capitalism? Is that what you do? Well, for those of you who think that Jesus Christ lived and endured the same kind of stuff that we endure, Jesus Christ didn't join over there with him. He said it's time to go home. Gandhi didn't join with him. He said it's time to go home. Martin Luther King didn't join with him. So it's time to go home. Malcolm X didn't join with him. Says it's time to go home. Medgar Evers did not join with him. Says it's time to go home. John, Robert, John Brown, Lincoln can't join with you. So it's time to go home. The little three boys in Philadelphia, Mississippi, who were struggling to help each other out to bring about a major changes, they said we can't go along this way, so it must be time to go home. The little white lady, I can't think of her name, maybe I should be embarrassed, but I'm not, but she was out there too, from Detroit. They took her life, so she says, I can't go along with this, it's time to go home. So to you today who think you're on the path to being God's representation, what do? I saw you when you went to the polls and voted for evil. I know most of you got homes and cars and the preachers and stuff who are giving you the rap. They got the biggest home, the biggest cars, the biggest mansions, and all of this stuff. They can travel all over the world. They even got the jets and talking about they're using it to glorify God. They're using it to get more money. So you see what they've done. But you, the average person, what do? Do you say, I got to eat, I got to sleep, I need some clothes, I need a place to stay, I need education, I need health care, and God ain't coming through, so I'm going to step ahead and join the devil? You can do that if you want, because God will surely allow you to do what you want to do. Because I am convinced that there's more than this that's happening. There's something else happening. I don't believe that God, notice that word now. I said I don't believe that God would create us to forsake us. Surely we have to go through these changes, but what are the purpose for these changes? I've always recognized that changes is a mission of education. That's what I've always learned. So perhaps this is just an educative process that maybe we will learn as much as we possibly can here, depending upon who we are. And there's a transition to another period for us to learn more. But I know one thing. This one thing, it ain't about no belief. I am sure that if God is all powerful and got all might and all knowledge and all that kind of stuff, there's no way that any of us are going to skeet in and get in heaven until we change. I don't care what that choker told you, but all you got to believe, all you got to do is believe. You crooked, dirty, filthy rag. But if you believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God and confess it with your mouth, God is going to forgive all your sin that you're still doing. I don't know what they are. But whatever they are, if they're displeasing to God, but you believe that Jesus is his Son, he's going to let you back into heaven. That biggest lie ever heard. When a woman told you that she was loving you, or a man told you he was loving you, but loving somebody else. Ain't nowhere in the world. The truth is going to be that God kicked the devil and his angels out of heaven because they were screwing up. kicked Adam and Eve out of heaven because they're screwing up, and got us down here. But if we believe that Jesus Christ is the Son, all the people who got kicked out, all the angels that got kicked out, gonna be invited back in with that same old stuff they were doing before, because they sure haven't stopped. I can see them coming back in if they stop. I can see the prodigal son saying, hey, oh, later for this, I'm going back home. I can see that. I can see me saying, whoa, later for this, I'm going back home. I can see you doing it. But I cannot see you saying, I like this. Forget God, and you going, even if you try to pretend like you believe in Jesus. See, here's the key. You can't say you believe in Jesus and don't act like you believe in Jesus. See, right now it's not so much as, is it true that Jesus lived? It doesn't matter whether Jesus lived or not. There's a message. It is the message that you're missing. Take your eyes off Jesus and put your eyes on the message of Jesus. Put your eyes on the message of the Bible, not the Bible, and not the individuals in it, but the message. Well, I'm sitting here talking. Everybody's still going to go right over there and do everything they possibly can to get a piece of bread, to get a sackcloth to wrap around them, to get a tent to sleep in. They're still going to do everything they possibly can if they can get a little bit of education for those who want it, a little health care. They'll sell God out for a joint. Anyway, Lord, I know you haven't lost because you don't lose. And you got me in the middle of this hole. And I think, without a doubt, that I'm here so I can shine. And I'm doing everything I can to shine. But the devil is not acknowledging that I'm shining. The people who are suffering that I'm bringing this message of liberation to, they find no joy in me. They find no peace in me. They find no reason to even listen to me. They talk about me, laugh at me, because I ain't got no money. You see, in this earth, you got to have some money to be somebody. You see, in this place, you ain't got no money. You can't take care of yourself. You can't get the health care. You can't get dental care. You can't get anything. You just screwed to the max, because the devil don't give a damn about you. And the people who go along with the devil and look at you and put you down like the Republicans put the Democrats down. Now, I'm not trying to say the Democrats are any better than Republicans. They truly aren't. But it makes the Democrats, has to make the Democrats feel good when they see a Republican saying, the Democrats, they just so liberal. They open up all the borders and have all the people that's suffering in all these lands across the earth who need some place to go and hide. They will call this sanctuary, let them in. They hungry, they'll try to feed them. These are liberals, and I just, as a conservative, can't go for that. Well, I'm not trying to lift Democrats above Republicans or vice versa. But I tell you one thing, what you just said about those Democrats is more like God than anything you have said about yourself. Now, having said that, I'm going to leave you alone. For me, I do not know. I don't want to give advice here, but I would say, some people believe in self-defense. So if the evil one, if capitalism calls somebody to come down on you to kill you, you got the right to defend yourself. If you make that choice, then do it. For those of you who are so liberated, your conviction is God is so great till you're just waiting for somebody to take your life, then stand up on the mountaintop and shout God's love. They'll get you out real quick. And you won't care. It'll be everything you've been looking for. So, when it comes down to me, it depends upon what kind of situation you catch me in. And I'm not lying to you. You catch me in a situation that requires me to defend myself, I will kill you. You catch me in another situation to show God's love, I'll let you kill me and enjoy it. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I got to leave with you. The original message, the key to life and heaven on earth. And this is the finished part of it. The key to life and heaven on earth. Eddie Marcus once again saying bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. And why don't you guys go and straighten up it's almost 40 years. I'm tired of walking around in 40 years preaching the same old message over to the same people.